So we'll see, especially with Blabber and Niski, they've combined super well for some mid-jungle synergy, and Lee Sin, Zoe can definitely try and prey on Orianna. We saw already Dignitas yesterday. They drafted the Vel'Koz for Froggen. Bjergsen just completely bullied him. Even though he didn't get solo kills, he solo forced Froggen out of lane multiple times, which earned TSM objectives uncontested from Dig because they didn't have mid priority.
And Dignitas had a lot of hype coming out of week 1. They looked really good. In week 2, then they lose 1, win 1. So everybody's still like, okay, but obviously the is Dignitas going to win Worlds meme conversation stop a little bit there after they get the first loss. But this team has been looking better than people might have initially expected. The thing is, though, you're going up against Cloud9, which seem to be playing in a league of their own after these first 5 games. C9 played against FlyQuest yesterday, which, remember, is the team that smashed Dignitas last week. Can Cloud9 now find that one? What will happen sooner? First death or pizza delivery Sivir cosplay? Well, he said the Sivir cosplay is never happening, but at this rate, he's never dying either, so we'll have to see.
I feel like people are going to never stop asking for it, too, so he's going to have to keep on denying it.
Well, as long as he keeps not dying, he'll have something to stand on, right? He's got a strong foundation.
All right, well, Dignitas, that's going to be goal number 1 for them, because that is always your point of operations here. Take down the Aphelios, you can take down the team.
And he doesn't have a Thresh or a Tahm Kench or one of those supports that specifically is designed to keep him alive. No Braum. Nautilus is much more of, I'm just going to go in, team fight, CC, engage. So we'll see how well Sven can position here.
But have you thought of this? Your opponents cannot kill you if you kill them first.
Ah, I see. The best defense is a good
we got a lot of the audience. That's a good.
Yeah, the 5-head. You're enlightening some people here.
Paradigm shift here, Captain Flowers.
Ooh,
best defense is indeed a good offense. Vulcan, by the way, talking about supports and talking about setting up your AD carries, he has performed very, very admirably thus far in the season. They released a couple stories. I know there was ESPN talking about how heavily the teams were fighting over this guy and what it took to get him on Cloud9. I think he's definitely doing the fans justice thus far.
And last year on Clutch, he was the guy who would always be starting things off. He would have some really bad games and some really good games, but they would always come from the same ballpark. It was always him going in. It was whether or not the engage was at the right time and coordinated with everyone else. But this Cloud9 team has just seemed to be on the same page here in the first few weeks of 2020, and it's been a lot of fun to watch.
All right, I will say, from the Dignitas point of view here, Huni also had a very good Gangplank game, and this is one of the champions throughout Huni's career that people have been very worried about giving him because he is so good on the Gangplank. He puts out a lot of DPS, and if you watch him play the champion later on in the game, one of the big differences between him and a lot of other Gangplanks is that Huni is not afraid to get in there and use the Gangplank auto attacks. A lot of Gangplanks will just sit back, look for barrel chains later, play it super defensively with the rest of the team. But Huni goes for maximum DPS output, utilizing the passive of Gangplank, getting in for extra autos, using aggressive flashes so that he can secure those kills for the team. And that's one of the things that really does separate the greats.
And I really like the Gangplank on a team with Senna as well. Provides a lot of difficulty for your opponents trying to engage onto barrels and onto Senna's mist, while at the same time creating another big late game damage threat through the AD lens. Considering Senna doesn't quite have the same DPS, the attacks are very slow. It's a boom boom with the auto attack and the Q, but Gangplank can really make that explode on the next level here. You can see the junglers might find each other. Blabber remaining perfectly still, so Grig can't see him with the tremor sense.
I actually love... Oh, bubble does land. Blabber's gonna get him.
There we go. They're looking to go in. Grig taken out. First blood.
Did we say in Champ Select the mid-jungle synergy for Cloud9 has been off the charts, Flowers? Because there you go. Niski does not hesitate to come over. Soon as Grig starts clearing that ward, Cloud9 in full attack mode. Well, full attack mode also looks like standing still when you're fighting either a Rek'Sai or a
motionless.
A Rek'Sai or a T-Rex. It's the same deal. Blabber stops.
T-Rek'Sai.
As soon as Grig goes up, Niski lands that bubble. That was such a good bubble over this wall, by the way, finding the full distance just to hit Grig with the end of it there. And a very quick first blood in this game gets them off to a place that Cloud9 will be so happy about, because Zoe with early kills affects everybody. This is not an, oh no, my mid lane matchup is slightly harder now. This is everybody has to worry about bubbles flying over the wall at all points. Zoe's actually very good at roaming, especially since Cloud9 have achieved the double scuttle, the dream scenario for your early game, which allows you to traverse the entire Summoner's Rift, look for those roams, and look to affect the other lanes. Grig wants to get back out and create something positive for the team. Licorice, though, giving a lot of respect to Huni's barrel chains.
Very much being paid here, and that means Grig will not be able to find that opportunity he's looking for. And with Niski currently out of vision for the side of Dignitas, they have to pull back, because if you overcommit to something top and the bubble is there, you are quickly going to find yourselves on the losing end of a fight. Niski now back into the mid lane. Licorice feels a little more comfortable up in the top side. And you'll see in bottom lane here is Ven pushing up. Look at the Sorcerer's Shoes already done there for Niski.
Yeah, I want to highlight here. Top side.
Over the wall, Blabber tries to make the moves. Huni's going to be forced away from this turret. Redemption coming down. It's like an artillery strike. It's not going to find the kill, but Grig is now in danger. Flash still available, gets himself away, but that's 2 flashes burned and about 2 minion waves completely eaten up by a turret.
And this game has kind of encapsulated what C9 have been doing to the entire LCS. They see someone and they just start slapping them, send them back to base. They don't get any kills there, but they are able to force them down, and off of the turret there, losing some minions, forcing them back to base, retaining control of Summoner's Rift. What I was trying to highlight there earlier, though, was the Sorc Shoes early purchase from Niski. That's what he spent that First Blood money on. And it goes to back on my point that I was talking about roaming for this Zoe. If the Zoe gets that early money and you're able to retain control of those Scuttle Crabs throughout the game, you kind of get your highway open of the river pathway where Niski starts moving around the lanes. He's invading the jungle right now and getting extra vision for C9.
Niski always going to be a threat on this champion, facilitating those plays here around the bottom side. You can see the Drake is up 6 minutes in. Sometimes we do see those attempted here pretty early on if the team does have a lead. Bottom side is where the second Scuttle Crab is going to spawn. You can see Blabber is already there to be able to pick that one up when it does show. Sven rotating up into the river along with Vulcan here, and they'll have control over that Mountain Drake pit and start it up.
Yep, Control Ward goes down. Mountain Drake, the lowest DPS dragon as well, so at least he has 0 problem tanking that up with safeguards. See if Grig actually goes for anything here. They do Prey Seeker, but they're a little bit late for the steal.
Oh, but they're not too late to potentially get caught out. Dignitas doing a good job disengaging. Blabber down to half HP, has to run back. Root comes out. CC is down. Sleepy trouble. There's the bubble. Afromu's going to sleep, and it is nighty-night. Vulcan grabs the kill.
Niski, not only does he land the bubble over the wall to snipe the sleep onto Afromu and allow the cooldown for Vulcan's hook to come back up, but he also predicts the flash from Afromu with his Q placement, kills him upon arrival, and it's starting to come true, Flowers. Even though the kill did technically go over to Vulcan and he gets the extra money.
Still counts.
Still counts, and C9 very happy to get the extra leeway here. Let's take another look. So, Dragon goes down, Vulcan looks for the engage, they get the Devour out super early on, so they go for the harassment, and just like we're talking about on that minimap, you see, it is the mid lane roam from Niski. He lands this bubble over the wall, and then look at his Q. He already is placing it this way, towards where Afromu is going to flash. So even though he does afterwards, still gets him on the kill.
I don't know what you're doing there as Dignitas. Obviously, you're not going to go in and fight for that Drake because Grig's already used Flash. If he goes in, he's dead 100%, even if he gets it. It seemed like a breakdown in communication there. Froggen never even moved to follow. They knew Niski was going to go. Just not what Dignitas needs to be doing against a team that's going to snowball the game like Cloud9.
Yep. When your opponents are stronger than you and have better positioning on an objective, in the early game, you don't try and contest it if the opportunity is not there, right? You try and create something on the other side of the map. But Dig have been just full defense moves thus far in the game. Right now, they're finally getting an answer here. Sleepy Trouble Bubble does land, and the Rift Shell getting low.
Afromu does a good job there blocking for Froggen, making sure no more damage is coming in. Blabber's found the Sonic Wave, kick into the resonating strike. Good lord, man! Greg is gone! Shelly is stolen! Blabber will fall. That's a 1-for-1 on junglers. Cloud9 now try to disengage. Gangplank ulti coming down, bringing the fire, but that is a one fight for the side of C9, and Afro Moo might be yet another trophy. Damage comes in, Moonlight Vigil gonna provide some extra DPS. The Chakram's not quite enough. Sven's got a whole orbit of those things around him as Huni continues to walk away back into the top side.
Blabber is creating some highlight reels here, my friend.
Yeah.
He goes in, not only does he get the kill on the enemy jungler within his own team, but in the end, Cloud9 walk away with pretty much all the resources here. So, gonna have a reset for Dignitas, and they really need to take a deep breath because look at the way this game is going. Vulcan does get the hook afterwards onto Orianna. Blabber goes in, 100% to 0. Grig there, then steals the Rift Herald as well. Even though he goes down to the Senna ultimate, his job is done. He killed his opponent and took the objective. They then retreat off of the Gangplank ultimate before re-engaging to push them off of Summoner's Rift and back to the base.
And we'll see how that Rift Herald gets used by the side of Cloud9. We've been talking a lot this split about how teams like to knock off the first couple of plates and then use it to take down the rest of the turret for maximum value. And there we go. One plate down, almost through that second one. A little bit more. There we go. Shelly just ringing in the bank for Cloud9.
Talk to me about the feeling of being in range of a Rift Herald smashed on turret plates, by the way, because that cha-ching
One of the best in the
It's a very satisfying noise. I feel like they really nailed it on the audio. The audio feedback for that feels real nice.
Well, everything feels real nice in the early game here for C9. Nice bubble, lands its way onto Froggen, who uses the Shockwave in combination with a cleanse to get the better of Niski there. But that is a summoner spell expended. Niski will just head home and heal up as Blabber shows up into the lane to cover for him. Vulcan also sitting down some vision in the enemy jungle to make sure they're very aware if somebody's coming top to gank Sven.
Okay, we talk about Dignitas need to take a deep breath. They need to refocus here because Cloud9 have been running this game so far. They do have Huni on Gangplank scaling on bottom side with the teleports for both bottom laners coming back up here. He's trying to scale up, and he's actually had to delay the build a little bit here and stop off for the Executioners because it helps him both in the 1v1 with Aatrox for the extra healing reduction to try and find superiority in the side lanes. And it's going to delay his Trinity Force a little bit, so you're not going to get the bigger barrel chains coming through for team fights quite as quickly. And that really does put more emphasis for Dignitas on really trying to stop the bleeding here as Cloud9 keep pushing the tempo of this game. Problem is, in the current state, with so many objectives popping up, double Rift Heralds, dragons all stacking up towards Soul, there very quickly is always a new neutral objective for the team that is ahead to try and force on. And Cloud9 keep it up.
Oh, Licorice being collapsed on here on the bottom side, but Blabber has shown up, the counterattack comes through, and Grig is once again on the run. Dignitas tries to make the plays. Ho, ho, ho! He had to feel that one just singe the hairs on the back of his neck. Huni walks away, but the Paddle Star nearly finds him.
A little bit wide there. C9 come to Licorice's defense and get him out alive. Dig's still kicking. Let's see what they can do with it here. Froggen trying to hold on to that mid lane. Because of the Rift Herald, there's only a small amount of HP left on it. One turret plate that Froggen has to work off of. And they really need to keep that mid turret standing. When your mid turret goes down, it opens up your entire jungle to invades. And that is just so devastating when you're facing a Zoe. So big goal right now for Cloud9 is taking this point of power away from Dig, removing their mid lane defense with the last little bit of that outer tower.
Two things Dignitas got going for him. Froggen has much better farm than Niski does.
Run for the hip.
But Huni's in a lot of trouble here. Licorice, Blabber, Niski, the whole goon squad showed up. And that's easy money for them. They'll be able to push onto this turret now as well. Still 40 seconds left to get plate money.
Now, look at the big CS discrepancy that is opening up. Because Niski roams to every single fight, that is the payment. Now, I would say that payment is worth it to have this Zoe roaming around, getting all these kills for Cloud9. But you have to count what is Dig getting back for it. Froggen pushes in again there. Not only does he get the minion wave, he also got a turret plate. Licorice will achieve even better on bottom side, though. So it's that's why the meta right now is to remain proactive, and mid laners have been constantly roaming ever since Doinb and FPX kind of showed them the light at Worlds.
Many lessons were learned in those times, but
then CS numbers, though, those are there for later.
Well, but the thing is, you also got to consider that is the one lane where the CS numbers are benefiting the side of Dignitas. Look at the other three. You've got a 30 CS lead for Licorice over Huni. The jungle's even a lead for Blabber over Grig, despite the fact that Blabber has been all over every single play for C9. Bottom side, Sven also farming up better on that Aphelios. So Cloud9 is making sure that they're getting benefits across the map for Nisqy making those sacrifices, as you said. Top lane turret falls on the side of Dignitas. That is the first turret of the game going down. And C9, 14.5 minutes into this game, nearly 3,000 gold ahead of Dig.
Yep, well earned by them. And look at this build from Sven as well. He went full flat attack damage there before the combination on the Essence Reaver. Looked especially cool with the double long swords and BF swords sitting there. But now that the Essence Reaver is done, he's ready for the team fight as well. See if they can actually find more picks. Nisqy's holding on to a Ghost with Zoe, which is very useful actually for repositioning for those bubbles.
Remember that when Zoe uses the stolen abilities through summoner spells, item actives, whatever, she gets a quick burst of speed too. And Ghost, it has a moment at the beginning where it has to accelerate. You're not as fast as you would be throughout the rest of the duration of the spell, so considering those two combined together, it means that the movement speed makes up for it, and she's just running like a bat out of hell.
Yeah, the Zoe Ghost is off of W is more like Mario Kart when you hit the perfect ignition on start and you get that nice boost.
Just a little bonus. Well, either way, he'll be fast as long as he's got that. Redemption now locked and loaded too. Pretty big team fight power up there. Next Drake is going to be spawning just 60 seconds from now. Cloud9 with 2 already in their possession means it will put the game on Soul Point if they get this third. Dignitas, they know they're pretty far behind, but do they want to even try to fight for that? Aphromoo loses 3/4 HP from that Zoe combo, and Nisqy will shove him back. That's going to get C9 priority over the mid lane, priority over that Rift Herald pit. And with Sven and Blabber working together to take that one down, that is Shelly number 2 of this game going over to the C9 side.
It's actually so ridiculous too when Zoe gets redemptions. He's not worried at all about the back half of that trade where, oh, Johnson's going to hit me with a Q because I go in for this big trade on Aphromoo. Just heal back up to full with your own redemption that he's able to pick up. And there it is. That last defense we were talking about with the mid turret for Dignitas just went down. C9 now can use this priority, setting up for the Dragon. This is number 3, setting up for an Infernal, and they should be able to take it here. Harassment being pelted out.
One important thing to remember is when Lee Sin has Rift Herald, if a team fight breaks out, he can't ward hop because he has no trinket. Blabber does find the Sonic Wave onto Grig. Turret placed down by Aphelios. Sven trying to just zone their opponents away. Dignitas do not have any priority over this fight. It's going to be Cloud9 moving into the bottom lane river.
All right, let's see. Can Dig get a big shockwave? Because that's what it's going to have to be if they're actually going to fight over this. They've got to get the ball to somebody who can place it for Froggen.
You can see Blabber summons Shelly. She'll just walk into the bottom lane, and now he has the trinket ready to go if he needs to ward hop to it. Licorice hanging out on the backside of the pit. Look at the damage. With Johnson down to 100 HP, Dignitas, they have to retreat.
No fight left in him. You get sniped down like that, you have to give it up. This, thankfully at least for Dig, is not the actual soul, but the actual soul is coming pretty quick. 5 minutes, start the timer, Flowers.
That's a potential 22-minute Infernal Soul for the side of Cloud9 that is already just exploding into the Rift this game. Shelly gets that bottom lane turret for them as well. That's all 3 outer turrets taken down from the Dignitas side, and Cloud9 just feels so much more comfortable pushing even further into that territory now. You were already talking about how mid lane turret opens up the map, but when they don't have the sides to run to either, Cloud9 will be looking for those picks.
Very true. Licorice already starting off with some of the split pushing down on bottom side. He has the defensive wards already in place in the red side jungle and the red buff on top of it. So he feels very confident pushing up here, even though Cloud9 hadn't pushed the other lanes as quickly. Now they've got Sven and Vulcan up there on top side. Nisqy getting into the mid. So C9 can push them all out and then collapse on Grig, who's going for a risky scuttle.
Greg finally wants to get himself a crab this game. He's been deprived of so many. He will manage to secure that one and get out just in the nick of time.
Crab meat can be very pricey, Flowers. I don't know if you
Yes.
go to the grocery store a lot, but especially if your team is behind, the price just goes through the roof.
I hate going to the grocery store and my team's behind. It's one of the worst feelings.
It's really dangerous, you know.
Well, Dignitas are going to be playing this game from the back foot here for a while. Still need plenty of time to scale up these carries. Huni still without the Trinity Force completed. Just now got that one done. And Johnson is having a very Zoe experience right now.
Oh, man, with the Corrupting Potion, too, that thing's ticking down. He got into double-digit health right there. Almost gonna bite it, but Niski, with the blue buff on Zoe, too, can just keep throwing them out. Honestly, the Baron can't spawn quick enough for C9. The crab meat, the expensive crab meat is well purchased there by Greg. He took the risk, and that's gonna give them some solid vision. Because without that, you have to be so freaking scared face checking into Fog of War against the Zoe that's already doing that to your AD carry.
And look at the vision. Look at the Cloud9 wards in the top half of the Dignitas jungle. It is just red, 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 red. They have this whole thing lit up, and Dignitas has to just inch their way forward. Super scared. They're in a horror movie right now trying to peek around the corner.
Yeah.
Except the monster's even scarier because it's Zoe.
Yeah, definitely a lot of red energy coming out of Niski here from the mid lane, too. See if he can find a snipe here. He keeps backing off towards the control wards, out of vision. This is what you want to do. They're so far ahead. They have full vision superiority for C9. So he just keeps on dropping back into Fog of War, looking, fishing around for possible picks. Greg here doing his part, though. Fighting that fight for the vision. Trying to give them some sort of early alerts if the Baron does get started up.
Stand strong, soldier. You got to hold this line. Except now you're going to lose the frog.
Oh, is he, though? Greg, still around.
This is,
smite.
of
He's
all
gonna
the
go
things
for,
to fight for, I don't think a frog is the...
You don't fight over, you go for the smite.
Okay,
If you have 2 charges only, by the way.
well, Dignitas might be able to make some sort of a pick here. Sven with the flash over the wall. Froggen could not get him with the shockwave, but now the counterattack comes through. TP coming in. Aphromoo taken very low. Grig going to be going into the ultimate, keeping himself alive only for a moment longer. Licorice tanks up, buys the time they need to grab that pick, and gets out safely. The Crab has respawned, this time secured by Cloud9. It's a 1-0 trade for them.
Double summoners blown by Sven there to keep his KDA alive. And it does come at the cost of Grig's life. But honestly, if there are no summoners on Aphelios and Zoe, the carries here for Cloud9, maybe there's a possibility for Dig. Huni has finally gotten his Trinity Force completed for the Gangplank, so you can have a decent backline threat. Again, Froggen looking for a game-winning shockwave for them. It is going to be super difficult because they don't have a great delivery system, right? Rek'Sai is not that quick at getting in, and Greg himself used Flash in the last play, which would be the surprise factor that Dig could try and hope for a comeback in this game. Without that, it's going to have to be sneaky ball placement from Froggen to try and find his own. Otherwise, Cloud9, Soul is approaching. 20 seconds on Infernal Soul, and C9 very happy to set it up here.
Dignitas is going to have to work a miracle here, get some sort of big fight, big pick to buy themselves enough time to prevent that soul from coming online. We're just about 23 minutes in, Drake about to spawn. It's Dignitas with priority over the river, and Blabber chunked down to half HP by the Dignitas roster. Licorice is coming around from the other side. It could be a pincer maneuver from Cloud9. Licorice walks up, Hooney's at 3/4 HP, Paddle Star. Next onto Froggen and Aphromoo, finds a little bit of damage there. Licorice trading aggressively onto Huni, forces the flash out of the Dignitas top lane.
Definitely a valuable cooldown here for this very important team fight. Infernal Soul could be game-breaking for Dig, or he gets devoured, and that's going to be a long cooldown.
Very good devour there from Aphromoo, making sure Froggen doesn't get chunked away. C9 have decided to start up the Drake. Remember, you could always have the smite fight. I think this is one that you always risk if you're Dignitas. Grig thinking about it. Gangplank ulti already summoned up. Cloud9 playing this slowly. Very nice shockwave onto 2! And Froggen gets the first kill of the split onto Sven. But at what cost? Dignitas is annihilated by Cloud9.
Infernal Soul picked up for C9. The reign of Lord Spennington has come to an end. He has died, but there's a caveat, Captain Flowers.
Oh, do tell, my good man.
If you only have one death, you're still only dividing by one, so technically your KDA doesn't go down.
You get one freebie.
Yeah, exactly. So he did die. He's not deathless anymore, but at least his KDA is intact still. And it should come with the C9 victory now because they have Infernal Dragon. And look at that. We were talking about, can Froggen find the Shockwave to change the game? He does find the Shockwave to kill the carry, but it doesn't change the game.
No.
Because C9 still kill everyone except for Grig, and they still get the Infernal Soul.
And Grig had no way to even try to steal that. His smite wasn't ready. He had no tunnel.
He threw the Prey Seeker. That's his way.
Okay, sure. All right. Toss a Prey Seeker in the pit. Hope for the best. But Cloud9 is now 6,000 gold up. They've got themselves an Infernal Soul pre-25 minutes. Everything is looking phenomenal here for this squad, and I can only expect they're going to be setting up Vision more and more in this top side of the Dignitas jungle and prepping for Baron.
Oh yeah, you've got Infernal Soul, you have a Zoe, you have Vision control over Baron. These are all the things that you need.
This checklist is adding up.
Yeah, and talk about Vision control, we could just highlight this a little bit. It's dangerous right now. The jungle is dark and full of terrors for Team Dignitas here. They're rushing into it though, Aphromoo and Grig trying to go get some vision while C9 have a reset.
You know, now that you mentioned the Dark and Full of Terrors, League of Legends is kind of like the Dignitas is kind of like the Dothraki in Season 8 because they all died, but now they just randomly reappeared again.
Okay.
Respawn time.
Just charge straight onto that battlefield.
Yeah, just charge out in there. Be your best self, live your best life. But Cloud9, they've got themselves the game in the palm of their hands, man. It is up to them to lose. I think it's legitimately out of Dignitas's control now, whether or not Cloud9 loses this game. It's up to C9 to make some sort of an error, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen here just yet. Johnson's under pressure. Licorice forces him to flash away. Shockwave is going to whiff. That's a whole lot of nothing, and that's way too important of a spell. C9 knows it, and they're pushing onto the tier 2.
Yeah, no ultimates there. That was also the Gangplank ultimate. The theory right there for Dig, they try to use GP ult to slow Licorice enough that he stays in range of the Shockwave, and it was pretty close, but close is not going to cut it in this game. You need a huge miracle to come back. So without GP and Orianna ultimates, your team fight has zero power behind it, and C9 will take the Baron. Grig, can he throw a Prey Seeker, thread the needle through everyone?
That would be the greatest Prey Seeker of all time.
It actually
just
would.
saying. I'm pretty sure there's legitimately just no way. Vulcan's going to buy some time for these guys. He's got the Stone Plate, keeping him tanky. They're on the front line. Blabber goes over the wall, and he is unstoppable. Huni now going to be soaking all the damage from Niski off to the side of this fight. Soaking, well, it's a waterfall. You ain't going to soak that up. That's so much damage from Cloud9, and they're right back on the Baron.
Yep, they peel off there quick for the turn as Vulcan goes in. Hooks into the wall. That's going to be 2 more kills for C9 and the Baron. And this is looking like a Baron power play that might end with a Nexus kill, my friend.
We could very easily see this game end under 30 minutes. One big push from Cloud9 to take Dignitas down.
Let's take a look. Even though he doesn't hit the champion, he hooks the wall there for Vulcan, so he's in the fight. He gets the ult there to secure a kill onto Rek'Sai when Blabber goes in on Lee Sin. And you're talking about the waterfall on the left side of your screen there. Niski is able to drown him.
And one thing I'd like to point out, right after the Baron is taken, Niski says, you know what? Yeah, this game's over. Medjai's Soul Stealer. He's got the Book of BM in his inventory.
So
this is his death note. He's writing their names.
here's my perspective on it, though. It's not really BM if you're this far ahead, because you're getting kills too. He's got it stacked up. It's actually efficient.
But whenever I see an opponent build the book, I know I'm being BM.
The BM to me is buying it early, before your team is ahead. This is the difference to me between trash talking before the game and trash talking after the game. This is trash talking after the game.
Okay.
He's like, we're so far ahead, I'm gonna buy a Soul Stealer. Haha, gotcha. No, if you go back, first buy, you upgrade your ring into a Soul Stealer.
Instead of Sorcerer's Shoes, he buys a book. Yeah. That's the play.
Because that buy is telling them, you're so bad, I am going to stomp you without stats. I'm going to stack up this book.
I feel like that buy is saying, please gank me.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
doing
And it
that
says,
way.
even if you gank me, I'm gonna out.
I'll outplay you. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Well, Cloud9, they aren't worried about ganks or anything anymore. They're so well set up in this game. Sven's pushing up the bottom lane. They've got the Baron for another minute and 15 seconds. And they've got the mid lane inhibitor turret down to half HP. Bottom lane nearly the same. Huni doing what he can with those barrels to try to just clear these waves out. Preyseeker finds its way onto a cannon mini, but it's so hard for Dignitas to actually kill these things. More damage coming through. Moonlight Vigil not going to get a whole lot done there, though. But the mid lane inhibitor turret does fall. Licorice, Niski, and Blabber pushing up as a 3-man unit, pressuring onto the inhib itself now. Dignitas trying to handle them 3v3, but no fair fight will go Dignitas' way in this game. Cloud9 have now broken the second inhibitor turret. First inhibitor falls, second one's in their sights. Sven continues applying the auto attacks with the Infernum, getting the extra splash if anybody stands too close. And C9 have 2 inhibs for free. And uh-oh, Kobe, there's a big old laser dragon spawning here in about 3 seconds. And if Cloud9 so chooses, they can go get that before the end of the game.
Yeah, Baron's running out right now. They only got a few more seconds with it left on, so the push will come to a halt. For me, it's actually, well, they're just going to instantly take it before it starts to get there. So, you know what? No analysis needed. It's just too easy. They have so much damage. You burn it down. The game is waiting to be executed here. Dig lying in wait inside their base. You've got a lot of homework delivered to you. It's super minion duty. Got them streaming in through 2 lanes.
3 minutes of Elder Drake buff. And look at the timers, almost perfectly synced. As soon as Elder expires, Baron is up. So somehow, if Dignitas managed to weather this storm, you've now immediately got another problem right after.
Or, how about this?
Okay.
If they make the miracle happen.
The ultimate optimist?
Yeah,
They
if-
managed to ace them at the end.
Yeah, they wait for the Elder Dragon about to time out, and they find the miracle fight, then they get a Baron reward. You gotta throw in some M. Night Shyamalan style twist in your story.
You gotta have the hardiest, strongest plot armor in the world to survive that. But maybe they can. Maybe they can do it. This is a squad that impressed people. Like I said, in those first 3 games, things have been a little shakier since with the loss of the FlyQuest and TSM. Cloud9 now looking to put another one in the L column for Team Dignitas as they push up. Licorice trying to make the moves. Remember, you get somebody to 20% HP, they are gone. The Dragon breathes the laser, and they're back in the fountain. Cloud9 pushing on to that last remaining Tier 2 turret. They'll take it down. And now the final inhib is the target. Infernal Soul, Elder Drake. A massive 11,000 gold lead. Greg may very well just die here. He's at 80%, and he knew he had to stasis, or he dies to that Sleepy Trouble Bubbles.
Yeah, I agree. You don't wanna go in your sleep, so go into gold mode. Survives to see another day, to see one more push. Licorice is behind them. The tower still standing, but it doesn't matter.
Vulcan's going in. Johnson's under pressure. Blabber looking to grab the damage into the execution. He is dominating. Hooney's in the back line, and the Dragon is just breathing fire on all of Dignitas. It's a double for Niski, and it's an absolute slaughter for Cloud9. Dig will lose their remaining inhibitor. They will lose their Nexus turrets, and they will lose their 3rd game here in Spring 2020. Cloud9 pushing on to the Nexus now itself. They go for the dive, they make it happen, and they are 6-0.
So, you know how